Hi there, how you all doing guys? This is Rami and I'm just posting a video this evening. Now I don't usually like to get political in any of the videos that I make. I really don't like talking anything like politics or war or anything like that. But as most of you would know, in the past 2 weeks pretty much there has been a big conflict between Israel and Gaza, and as of this evening, which is the 10th of January, 800 people have died in Gaza, and 33% of these figures were women and children. Alright, and this war is still happening as I'm making this video, and I have to say it's really, really sad. First and foremost, I'm not making this video to particularly side on anybody. I do have Arab background, but that doesn't mean that I can't think for myself. I've looked into this war and what's happened, and it is very, very upsetting. The first factor that I'd like to point out is all the commentary I'm about to make, none of this is directed at the Israeli people. Okay, none of this is meant to offend the people of the nation of Israel. Okay, this is purely an attack on the military, okay, the Israeli military and the government of Israel as well. And they won't be the only ones I'm targeting. I'm going to be targeting numerous other governments as well, don't worry. The media has been telling you a whole lot of bullshit. Okay. I looked at the news reports here in Australia, and every time I look at the news reports regarding this war, so far, it has clearly outlined that it was Hamas that broke the ceasefire. Now, this is an absolute lie. Okay. There are numerous sources which prove that Israel was the first to break the ceasefire. Okay, so it was weeks beforehand, before it was meant to end. They bombed a whole tunnel network and they killed 6 militants. And this was before the ceasefire had finished. Then Hamas retaliated with rocket attacks. And then Israel said that Hamas broke the ceasefire, and all the Western media, of course, report on Israel's side. Now that is upsetting that a lie is being presented as the truth, because if you are watching the news, you are expecting the truth, right? By them indicating that Hamas broke the ceasefire, it's kind of like saying the Palestinian people had it coming, okay? A lot of the comments that people are turning around and saying is that they deserve this. They voted for Hamas. The Palestinian people voted for this terrorist group. Okay? That's nonsense. Let's get to the facts. Israel broke the ceasefire, not Hamas. That's fact number one. There's numerous sources to prove that. American news sources, okay, that proved that it was Israel that broke the ceasefire. Israel shouldn't be supported in this war. Okay? Now, every Israeli citizen has every right to live in peace. Okay? I'm not saying any rocket attack is truly justified that's randomly fired into Israel. It is a huge nuisance. I agree. It is just the Israeli attack system that is funded by the US that is extremely unfair, that is extremely brutal and forceful and indiscriminate, okay? They say that Hamas constantly use the people as shields. Well, there's numerous sources that also prove Israelis use the Palestinians as shields as well. There's numerous videos to prove this. There's news reports that prove this. That in this war, Israel has no right to say Hamas is using people as as security blankets, because they are doing the exact same thing. Hence, they are no better. Hence, that's not a valid example. That is not a valid cause for this war to be going ahead. I find great disappointment in the lack of care from the other Arab nations. Okay? They're all shutting their ears. And I find it hilarious that of all the countries that have taken a stance and cried out foul towards Israel, politically, was Venezuela. Now that is hilarious. All the Arab leaders have said nothing. Shame on them. But the people that see the truth, the political figures of Venezuela, saw the truth and they spoke up against it. Good on them. Good on them. What the hell? Why should anybody be on their knees for anybody? Okay? This whole hierarchy is bullshit. When injustice is occurring in the world, we as people, as humanity, need to wake up and see this. The people of Gaza don't deserve this. Really. When we look at it, I look at comments and I hear people say that Palestinians are suicide bombers, that they raise their kids to blow people up. That is pathetic, okay? How often does a young Palestinian child go blow himself up? Anywhere in Israel. How common, considering the population of 1.5 million people in Gaza, for one person to turn around and say that these kids are used as suicide bombers when an attack happens once in a blue moon is ridiculous. Okay? Pathetic. That one time it happens in the blue moon is completely unjustified and disgusting, but that is in no way represents the people of Palestine. In no way. So when people call these people in Palestine terrorists, it's revolting. They are not terrorists. They already live quite a hard life, okay? They don't need you to turn around and add further insult to their living conditions by calling them terrorists. A lot of these people are family people. They're trying to live a life. They're trying to raise a farm, an olive farm. They're trying to provide for their families. They rely on aid so much. And when all of this aid and all these forms of humanitarianism is being blocked and suffocated by Israel, America, and Egypt, it's pathetic. It's unfair. It's completely unfair. These people need to have rights. There's been numerous marches and protests and rallies around the world supporting the Palestinian people. And I promise that the next one we have here in Sydney, I will attend to that if possible. Because I find that I believe in humanity, I believe in brotherhood and sisterhood, I believe in all of us being united. But I'm not going to fall for, for lies. I want the truth, I seek the truth. And it was revealed that most people are following a lie when they're watching the news about this whole Gaza thing. It is designed to desensitize you to the Palestinian people, so crimes can be committed against them, where it is labeled as okay and self-defense. It's not right. This war in Gaza needs to end. We just began a new year, a fresh start. Why can't we try? We're not trying. We need peace. That region is so unstable. And this war, it scares me. Because if any countries get involved and this spreads out, I'm really worried. As an Arab background person, I believe Israel has every right to exist. I believe the Jews are the people of Israel. Okay? It makes perfect sense to me. They're deeply rooted into that land. But I will not support the Israeli government, the Israeli military that is backed up by the US. And I will not support this bullshit Zionist media that is spoon-feeding the West utter garbage. I will not support that. Free Gaza, help the Palestinians, and let's give peace another shot. It will start with the ceasefire, God willing, and hopefully we could work from there and see humanitarianism back into Gaza. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. I know it's a rant, but this is how I feel. If you have an opinion on the matter on the war, you could send me a video response.